What did you tell me when I asked you why?
We are the only survivors that we know of.
Who are you? I'm deaf. Deaf.
This is so exciting.
How much?
Is that true? Oh yeah.
Welcome to Wizard World Virtual Experiences. I'm Jerry Milani, and 20 years ago, a different kind of legal movie hit theaters. Starred a then mostly unknown cast, including Reese Witherspoon as a Southern California sorority girl who takes Harvard Law by storm. Today, we have three of the co-stars from this really fun film, her two best Delta Nu friends and her mom, who looks like she could have been one of her Delta Nu friends as well. So whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, go ahead into the chat room, and if you have some questions for these fun friends, go ahead and put those in there, and we will we'll get to as many of them as we can in the next 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes, and hopefully you guys will really enjoy just chatting with each other, fans of this movie. Go the full span of the 20 years, and it's still very popular these days. In fact, there may even be a sequel. We're hearing about that, and maybe we'll learn a little bit about that. But Wizard World Virtual is the place to be. WizardWorld.com is our newly refreshed website with everything going on in the world of Wizard World, including the upcoming schedule. We've got Clerks coming up next Saturday, the cast of that fun film. And then next Sunday, the following Sunday, the 28th, we have the cast of The Walking Dead. So some very popular properties, including the film that we're going to talk about today, and then Clerks, and then The Walking Dead. So wizardworld.com, the place to go for all of that. Wizardworldvault.com, that's the place to go for everything we've accomplished and accumulated over the last 20 plus years of Wizard World. We are collecting those items. We have memorabilia, we have signed stuff, we have everything you can imagine from every realm of pop culture that there is. Wizard World Vault is the place for that. Also go to wizardworld.com to purchase live chats, virtual photo ops, recorded video messages, and autographs from the three stars of the film today. Just to give everyone some time to do that, we're going to do all of those live chats, virtual photo ops, recorded video messages, and autographs a week from today. So today is Sunday. The following Sunday, the 21st, is the day that we'll do all those. So you have, if you're watching this on replay, you still have some time to get autographs from our Legally Blonde folks. So I'm going to right now, I think it's time to bend and snap. We're going to introduce these three co-stars today, and I'm sure we're going to have a great time. First, you have seen her in The Drew Carey Show, Frasier, My Name is Earl, White Chicks. Her most memorable role, of course, is one of Elle's BFFs, Margot, in both of the Legally Blonde films. Here is Jessica Caulfield. Oh, there you are. Surprise, surprise.
Valentine's Day, Jerry.
Welcome in. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day to you as well.
Fantastic. So happy to be here and meet everybody and tell stories and relive the glory.
This is what it's all about. Our next guest has appeared in more than 150 films and TV shows, everything from Filthy Rich to NCIS to Snowfall, Men of a Certain Age, two of my favorite shows. She's Elle's other BFF, Serena, in both Legally Blonde movies. All the way live from quarantine, here is Alana Ubach.
Hi.
You don't look like you're in quarantine.
I most certainly am. I've been in this hotel room for about 3 days, and as I said before, I'm going out of my mind. But it is what it is, you know.
Well, you have a few thousand fans who are watching right now who are sharing the quarantine time with you.
Hello, woo!
Along with your other BFF right there.
Yes.
Hey, my wife, my Galentine.
Hi, girl.
Happy Galentine's.
Hello, happy Valentine's Day to you, my love. Happy
Galentine's. Galentine's.
And Finally, seen in more than 60 movies and shows, notably as a regular on Sherman Oaks, star of the series Nightcap. She played Elle's mom in both films. Here is Tennie McClure.
Hi, how are you?
Look at you guys. You guys look tremendous. Happy St. Valentine's Day to everyone.
Thank you.
So
I like the
our-
Galentine's. I like that. The
Yeah.
Galentine's.
Our chat rooms are blowing up. We've got people from Oregon, Philadelphia, Florida, Vegas, Cleveland, Massachusetts, New York, Washington, Virginia, New Jersey. I'm also in New Jersey. All
Vegas.
over the place. And they are watching and listening, and they're already chiming in with some questions. But I want to talk about this film and what it's meant for your career. So Alana and Tennie, you guys had both been in a lot of roles. But Jessica was one of your first films, and I know Jess and Alana, you have an audition story. Tell us what this movie has meant to you guys.
Well, it's where Jessica and I fell in love. We met at the audition. It was for the callbacks, and I was called back, and I walked in, and I knew I probably had a chance because my competition was very tall. I remember she was this very tall, very young girl. And I thought, Reese is tiny. I have a shot. She and I worked on Freeway together, and I remember her being very petite. And so it was very easy to light us and to put the camera up to us because, you know, obviously you have to pull back when someone's very tall compared to someone who's very little. So it was easy to shoot us. And so I see Jessica Caulfield come out of the casting office, and I followed her into the restroom and I kind of pinned her, shocked her.
And I passed, and she put me in the Target, and she stalked me into the ladies' room.
I did. I was like, she's playing my best friend. I've got to get her. And I always say it takes a hustler to know a hustler. And Jessica and I hit it off immediately. Take it away, Jessica. You tell the story way better than I do.
So I was like powdering my nose or whatever, and it was right before we did the reading, and I think it was like 5 or 6 Serenas were all waiting in the waiting room, and Alana was, yes, the most petite, and that's why I look like an Amazon woman in the film. I'm actually only a 5'4", not even, but Reese and Alana are so teeny that when they meet me, they think I've had some kind of reductive leg surgery because I'm actually really short. But so they, you know, there were the brunettes were in there, and I was touching up my powder, and I hear this in the corner, hey kid, you got some lip gloss, you got a red lip? I'm like, what the, got a red lip? Who is this? So ballsy. I need a red lip. It's nothing like a nice red lip. This is too pink. I need a nice red lip. Here. And she comes over and starts digging through my purse. I don't know who this person is. And she has the lady balls to dig into my purse and start going through my makeup bag, takes a lipstick. She was so funny and so charming and so intrepid, so courageous and so fearless. I was like, I don't know who this lady is, but she's the one. And immediately we hit it off in the bathroom. We started laughing. We forgot. We thought we were like at a bar, sharing things in our purses. And she says, yeah, oh, you're playing Margot, right? And I said, yeah, are you here for Serena? And she says, yeah, kid, I got to make rent. I got to make rent this week.
I was broke.
She was like, this landlord, you know, he makes the moves on, if I don't pay the rent, he's gonna, you know, start breathing down my neck. She said, can you help me out? And that's where I fell in love with her. I took one look at her face, and she could have been totally full of, you know, it didn't matter because she was so charming and so funny. So I literally went back into the casting room, and I told the producers and Robert, the director, and the writers, Karen and QB were also there. I told them I needed a few minutes because I really had to go. I had to have, like, you know, like beans. I made something up so I could buy like 5 more minutes. I took my sides, Alana and I in the bathroom, read through the sides together, and we wrote in beats like this line, double take, this line, turn, this line, put up your hand. So we coordinated beats with the lines so that we were in
the entire thing. Yeah.
So it was synchronous. So we're in synchronicity. And when we went into the actual audition, oh, it was so terrible to me. I'm going straight to hell for this one, but not really, because it was destiny. all the other actresses, I still feel so bad, who came in. I was like that bad hungover casting director. I wasn't hungover, but who sits there and just goes, "We walked to the store. I thought you were mad at me. Don't look at me." I threw it. I threw the audition for Alana. I stared down at my sides and read completely unemotionless. Emotionless? Unemotionless. That was very Margot. Still blonde after all these years. So I read it, and Alana comes in and I jump up and go, "Alana, oh my God, it's so good to see you." So we act like we're friends. They think we've known each other forever. I jump up, I do the scenes with her, and we do all our coordinated little moves, and they thought we'd known each other forever. And that was it. That was it. Margot and Serena were born in that moment, and she got the job like that day. I think they were kind of like, it's over.
Well, you can barely find a frame of the film where both of you aren't in it together.
Yeah.
You guys were terrific too. Love you guys.
Yeah, freaking frack.
And Tani, what was your experience in getting signed in?
Oh, and Hardy.
Mine wasn't quite like that because I love that story. That is so good. No, I don't know. Did you guys remember the first script? Had anybody noticed my character in the initial script? It was my lines
There
were
were so many
racy.
different versions of the film. Which was in the original?
The version that I got originally was pretty racy. Not only did I have a conversation with Reese in the film about, Hawaiian Tropics, honey, you were first runner-up in the Miss Hawaiian Tropics contest, that line. But I had this whole line about how to control a man, and it was sexual.
Oh.
Yes. And it was, the producers sent me not like overly, it was like.
No, Margaret lines like that, really dirty. I mean,
right?
I them here
Yeah.
but they were
Yeah,
X-rated.
some of those lines were racy. They were great.
They were, I'm trying to remember, one of the guys sent me some of the outtakes that weren't in the film of all these wild and crazy little, racy lines that I was saying to Reese and as Elle about, how to get a man and control a man. And, you don't know, let me just explain it.
You have the outtakes. How'd you get those? Alana, we've got to
I remember the guy that, this makes me feel bad. I can't think of it. They called me and they said, they love these scenes and they sent them to me. And I wish they're probably on a VCR.
Somebody on the inside.
Definitely on a VCR. Yeah.
On a VCR somewhere. It's terrible.
Or a DVD someplace.
But when I went for the audition, I remember there's all different kinds of people in there, all different types of looks. And I was kind of surprised because I felt when I walked in there and I'm like, nobody looks like Reese Witherspoon because I knew she had the part. And I'm like, okay, I got this, And I did heavy makeup and my hair was all dutied up, like similar to how it is in the film, right? So this is little inside story. I show up on set and I have no makeup on and my hair is blown really, really straight. And all of a sudden I see the director, the producers are all, I'm telling you, I thought I was fired. And I was like, what happened? And they just thought I didn't look, what?
Your stomach where you suddenly like looking for the bucket to throw up in.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's happening? And apparently I look so different than my audition, that they were freaking out. But the makeup artist came up to me and I was like, what's going on? What's going on? They go, oh, they just, so they did me up like that. So it ended up being great. But I love getting this movie.
Aquanet, right? I mean, your hair is like a monolithic structure.
I'm telling you, look how it looks like it's like here. My hair was like so long. Anyways, that's my story, but it was fun, even though my part got shrunk.
Yeah, but it was so memorable. I mean,
You stole a scene.
Oh my
I stole the scene
for Halloween. I mean, like still. I mean, it's an iconic. Your moments are iconic.
They're iconic.
Okay. I have a confession to make. I watched the movie again yesterday.
Wow.
Because I just wanted to refresh. And I have to say, of course it's in my memory banks and I watch it half the time when it's on, but you two, so fantastic. So fantastic.
We had a good time. We had a really good time. Jessica and I were thinking about, we were talking, Karen Lutz, we saw Karen McCullough, we just saw her not too long ago. We were talking about how there were so many different versions of the ending. There were a ton of different versions. And and I just watched it recently, and I thought, what a beautiful, fish out of water story, because everyone loves that. And it was the 90s where there was a lot of sexism going on, and people got away with a lot of stuff, and it was so exciting to see this girl, just when you think she's completely incapable of doing anything besides her nails, her confidence gets her everywhere. She has this supreme confidence, and she's hopeful, and that gets her everything she wants in the end. I think it's just,
You're right. It's a tremendous story. The bottom line, it's hard.
What I miss?
The whole thing.
Water story. How everyone yeah, everyone, just when you think she's a little bimbo and she's not going to get what she wants, and she's incapable of doing anything besides her nails, she is just barrels through Harvard and gets whatever she wants. It's just this supreme confidence in her. And obviously mommy did a good job on it. Mrs. Woods did a very good job.
The bend and snap just did the whole thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, she was bending and snapping, she was in diapers.
So Tani, just like you were saying, sometimes you just need a fun movie. Jeannie 4 in one of our chats saying, sometimes you just need to have a fun movie, and this filled the bill, and that's really what it does. So more folks checking in. Illinois, Trinidad and Tobago. Brian Springer saying Trinidad and Tobago. We said it's a very popular movie there.
Get some island love in here. Sure.
Very popular there. England, and Melanie Meekin said she has a daughter named Alana also. So special connection there for Melanie. So we appreciate
Melanie, I was named after Rod Stewart's wife.
Which one?
Alana Stewart.
Ooh.
Yes. I believe my mom saw it in an article. She's like, oh, I think I like that name. It's kind of fancy. But
This era, or was that when Rod was kicking it solo?
She was on she was on an album cover. You just see her ass, and it's in these very tight leopard pants. Do you know what I'm talking about? And she has
You're a breech baby. So you're a breech baby. You came out ass first.
Yes, she's like that, and Rod is like that, and yeah. And I think she even named her daughter Alana. Anyway. There you go.
There we go.
Who's from Trinidad that's checking in?
Who's from Trinidad?
Brian Springer is from Trinidad.
Brian is the nicest.
Brian agrees with me, Tani, that you could have just as easily been cast as a sister of one of the sorority BFFs.
Absolutely.
So I agree with Brian. Thank you, Brian.
Got a crush.
So
We're all like, if I'm 29, you all have to be what, 16?
I'm 14, baby. I'm getting my permit, my driver's permit.
All right.
I had my braces removed just for
So you've answered this a little bit already, but let me still go around. How much fun was this movie to make? Look how much fun you guys are having now. How much fun was this 20 years ago?
It was amazing. Robert Lucetta, Karen and Kiwi, they're just, the stars aligned, and they all came together, and they made this world, this like candy coated world. And we were there to help. It's just so much fun. The lines they gave us, right, Jessica? Those awesome freaking lines. And
yeah, the writing was incredible. The characters were so clearly drawn out. They were so colorful and rich and luscious. They jumped off the page, and Mama L was saying, it was quite saucy and raunchy and and dare I say nasty. I had some of the nastiest lines in the film, actually Margot did. And it had many iterations, but from the beginning, the characters were always so vivid. And the great thing about Robert as a director is he trusted the amazing writing by Karen and Kiwi, and he let us rip. He was like, I hired you because you're fabulous. So just fucking, I turn on the camera and be fucking fabulous and be funny. I don't fucking. That was it. And he would let us improvise, and, he was very open to ideas. Sometimes it's over. If you're an actor and you're like, hey, can I smoke a cigarette in this scene? They're like, we're moving in a different direction. You have to be really careful. And he was so supportive. Wouldn't you agree? Alana? He was
he was fantastic. But
scene, yeah.
He wrote and directed this sort of musical it was like a 10-minute musical called Tiziana Bubarini.
Yes.
And I remember seeing that. I don't know, someone had a bootleg copy of it. So I watched that before I met him. And I was like, what is this? It's about this girl who has a mustache and she works as, she's behind the cash register at some like CVS in Australia. And she's just, dreaming about the day that she actually waxes that mustache and gets the boy who she loves, gets his attention. And it's hysterical. The entire thing is a musical. It's all.
Speaking of mustaches, Alana, do you remember the scene? Sorry to interrupt. There's a bit of a delay. There was a scene that got cut where when Elle gets dumped in the restaurant and she comes home, mascara dripping, shoes off, she comes into the sorority house. It was originally the next scene. And you and I, Margot and Serena were in the ladies' bathroom, and it was like steamy, like a spa, and everybody was in their underwear. I don't know if the fans know about this. There is a picture floating around on the internet somewhere of you, Reese, and I in that scene, and it's like a crane shot. We're all lying on the bed, and Alana, Serena's character, had wax over her lips,
Bleach.
Wax at her armpits, and I had we had like dilapidatory. Remember Nair? I had like Nair on my Nair in all the places, and like even like on chest hair and the bikini line, and I was holding extensions. So there's that scene, the toilet paper scene in the montage that Mama's in, and I had this huge Madonna bun on. Well, they gave extensions for the scenes. You remember it was like holding like a shrunken head.
Right.
It was like 2 feet of hair. And I don't know if we can even talk about what was in that scene. Do you remember the lines? I mean,
No.
I don't even know as a mother if I can like put this on the internet. Do you remember? So she's crying and he dumped me. And I can't believe it. What did I do wrong? And then Margot realizes what she let Josh do to her. He'll never leave her. And it was like, I let him in the back door. That wasn't the exact line. That's the line. But it was pretty blunt. And Margot realized that since she let Josh go in the back door, he'll never leave me. It was the scene.
Oh, why did
I was like, oh shit, I should have think about that.
Oh my God.
I like my comedy raunchy, like my rap. It's got to be dirty and fun and fast and peppy.
Yeah, it was great, but would you guys agree that it was great like that, and it was so much fun, and that was very of the day with like the American pies and whatnot.
American Pie. Yes.
Yeah, that was it. That was the style. Yeah, stuff was.
It really felt like an American Pie script, the original one that same thing.
Yeah, Karen McCullough had mastered that's her humor in there. I mean, that is her genius, Karen and Kiwi. It was so brilliant. But as it morphed, there were so many incarnations of the script, right? And the film. And had it not ended up where it ended up, PG, or is it G? I don't remember. It would never have been so universal. So whoever, Robert or maybe it was Mark Platt, I'm not sure who made the collective decision to shift it into more of an every man, every woman, fish out of water, universally applicable, and not that really specific genre of like nastiness.
It just touches on it a little.
It elevated the film to a classic, and whoever made that call was, and none of us knew it. Remember, guys, at the premiere? So we were all ready for the, excuse my language, cunnilingus lines in the back door lines.
Yeah.
We were ready for this dirty version of all of these scenes, and no, they cleaned it up and
okay, see this Maxim? Can you guys see this Maxim that Jerry's showing? See this?
Oh my goodness.
I want to frame it and put it in my daughter's bedroom. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's great.
So can you send me a copy of that, by the way?
Cleavage with a cause.
Okay, can you
doggy style?
Oh my lordy.
Doing it doggy style. So this was one of the original endings of the film. So the film had 4 or 5 different endings, right? Yeah. And they showed everybody in the future. And the first one was Margot and Serena had invented an ammonium exactly. Let me try that again. Ammonium thiglycolate.
Right.
We were in a lab and we were scientists with cauldrons. And that was one of the endings. We were like these genius future scientists. And then another ending was that we were featured in Maxim as the
Maxim.
That
in
is classic.
BDSM. Look at what we're wearing, like BDSM.
Yeah.
Look
Part of
That I
you
know.
had gone on some kind of cruise. You were coming back from like a honeymoon cruise or something, and you were sunburned.
Oh, that was part 2.
Yeah.
That one, the sunburn.
Yeah.
There was a bit to do over the sunburn. Do we leave the sunburn in? By the time the doggy dance, the Snoop Dogg dance happens, is the sunburn gone? I mean, it's so funny what only people who do them realize what goes into comedies is so serious. Like on the screen, it's hilarious. But what's that famous quote? Dying is easy, comedy is hard.
Right.
On a comedy set, it's as serious as death.
It is.
It really
No.
like people on the Holocaust films and the horror films, they're playing pranks like George Clooney and, lighting dog shit on fire. But like the comedies, it's like the funeral march of seriousness, right? Right.
Yeah.
And so there was a big controversy in that second one about the sunburn, and my manager had to call Mark Platt, and there was this big debate, and the scene got delayed. And
Oh my God. That's hysterical. I do remember when we did like didn't we march into the Capitol building and do
yes! Oh my God. Part 3, Margot and Serena cited an insurrection.
It's you. It's you too.
I got
You're messing with my daughter.
Are you versed in the Constitution? Yeah. Protected by the First Amendment. Thank you so much.
No, she's not here. Stop calling. Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that. I remember peeing. I remember accidentally peeing in my pants. I lost bladder control. Do you remember that?
When you jumped, didn't you jump?
I jumped or something and I peed.
Yes.
And yes.
You jumped into his arms and you peed.
I pissed my pants, and I literally had to raise my hand and say, I'm sorry, you guys. Do you guys have like an extra pair of pink leotards, because I pissed myself. And it's been downhill ever since.
Panty liner. I remember got really excited because you had a crush on Junior. You remember the big guy who was dancing with us? He was so cute. Remember jump on both of them? He had to hold both of us. Is that the cut that's in there? I don't remember. Where he had to.
No, I don't think we went that far. I think that was probably cut out because I peed myself.
I think I did this once. Yeah, you did. You squirt. There was a little squirt.
Yeah.
It was a happy squirt. It was an invade the gap.
And I didn't even have a baby yet.
There needs to be
Now
a
I am now.
with
Yeah,
just you
Can't
two.
even fall out.
We need a new TV show with just you two. It would be huge.
We need
Tan, do you have kids? Do you have
I
any?
have a daughter. She's 22. She's a producer director. She's doing that.
Oh my God, is she in college?
She just finished. She
Oh,
went
that's
to the University of
fantastic.
Colorado Boulder. And you two?
I have a 3-year-old, and she has, Jessica has the most beautiful daughter you've ever seen. She looked como una muñeca. Like she looks like a live doll. It's wild.
Aw. How old is she?
She's smart. She's a Scorpio, and she is smart as, like, she doesn't suffer fools. God gave her a good brain because, when you're a lady and you're attractive, there's that external judgment, or also, taking advantage of women because of how they look, but she suffers no fools. She used to make the guy in the Starbucks near our house quiver because she would stare him down. I mean, they would do baby noises to her, and she was like, what else you got? Not
I
impressed.
love it.
A barista. Is that what it's called? A barista? I never.
Baristas.
Yeah, my daughter's really attractive too. She was a model and everything. And funny enough, she just all of a sudden says, no, I want to be behind the camera. I want to write, I want to create and direct. And she edits. And am I right, Jessica, you edit too?
Yes, that's one of the things I do. I had to have a secret documentary film shadow career. Yeah.
See, we're ladies.
Mhm.
We're attractively and smart, and I edit as well. So yeah.
Right. Renaissance women, lots of hats. Alana wears at least 26 hats. I mean, she's my best friend, and I watch things with you in it, Alana, to this day. I don't even know it's you. I see the credits, and I'm like, holy shit, you are the ultimate shapeshifter,
Well, I tell you something. I'm also a slumlord. I can fix any fucking toilet. Sorry, any toilet. It's whatever it is, honey. Any toilet. It doesn't matter what kind of toilet it is. And I can I can fix a gate. I have a drill. I've got a toolbox in my trunk, in the trunk of my car. I'm like Schneider from One Day at a Time.
I love it.
So if you guys are enjoying this chat, everyone, so this is really fun. Wait till next week when you're in the live chats and you do a personal live chat, virtual photo op, recorded video message, autographs. Go to wizardworld.com. Just click on the movie and click on these people. And next Sunday, the 21st is the day that they'll be doing the live chats, the virtual photo ops. You can sign up anytime between now and then for the recorded messages and the autographs. You won't want to miss that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to talk about fashion in this movie, because I think fashion is such an important part of the film, not just for Reese, but for your characters as well. So question.
Head of wardrobe department got nominated, didn't she?
Yeah, talk about fashion and let me know if you brought anything home from the set.
The French woman.
Yeah, she was just awesome.
Talk about serious. I mean, I feel like she, in so many ways, created the core like thematic visuals of the film, because each outfit for each character was so iconic. And so creative, so colorful, so unique. And how she with all of our characters, and she would talk about it in the fittings, she had an arc and a journey for the character, and the colors would change and the outfits would change as the characters went through their personal journeys, and that was reflected in the clothing.
Yeah.
And we got to wear vinyl. Alana and I got to wear vinyl a lot. I mean,
remember that glossy look in the 90s? It was so nice.
I love your courtroom outfits.
Like speaking of One Day at a Time, like the Jeffersons, we had those 70s, like, wow.
I had a wig connected to the hat. It was like one of those like Rasta hats.
Oh, that's it. I love that. That was.
I had a really short haircut and it was growing out, so they didn't know what to do with me. They had no idea. I mean, they were like, "What do we make it look like Bjork? Do we do this? Do we do that?" So they added extensions to make me look like I had these little ponytails hanging out all over the place. It was hysterical, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'll never have short hair again." Like, what was
very housewife? You had a very mom cut, and last time I watched it. My daughter was like, "Mom, Alana looks like a mom," because you had the suburban chic, like, I don't want to deal with it, I'm going to keep it short and drive.
45. I looked 45.
No.
42.
So we couldn't see your pores, Freddie. We couldn't
But you know what? It is what it is. I looked 35 when I was 7. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. I'm used to it. It is what it is.
You'll always work. You'll always work.
Hey.
Who was that said, was it out on a limb, Shirley MacLaine. I met her in a drugstore. Long story. Same drugstore Michael Jackson used to go to. This is it. Ray, Alana, remember the drugstore in Beverly Hills?
Mickey Fine Pharmacy on Roxbury.
With the diner in the
Yes. Mickey Fine Pharmacy. Yes.
You guys out there? Oh my God! I remember the pharmacist was in love with me, and a crush on me, but he only dated.
He was so. Oh yeah, he touched himself. He looked at the prescriptions and touched himself.
He was like, "You need some." I know you don't want any Vicodin. I was like, "I don't need Vicodin." He was like, "Only 2." I was like, "No, really, I don't. I know. I'm really sensitive to medicines." He was like, "Okay, 5." I was like, "No, I just want a grilled cheese from the diner." And Shirley MacLaine's like, "Come here. You're wearing all white. You doing that Kundalini yoga?" I was. Shirley MacLaine like came up to me in the Mickey Fine Pharmacy.
Oh my God, she started a conversation with you.
Yes.
What did you say?
Actually, it's one of the peak moments of my life, because obviously one of my idols since I was a kid. And she was so down to earth, not on the limb, but she was so down to earth, but she was crass and funny, very East Coast. But everything she said I remembered, including that you always have to have a candy drawer in your house. I'll get back to that. But one of the things she said to me was like, okay, you're pretty, you're an actress, right? You're just pretty, or are you funny? Are you funny and pretty? And I was like, I'm a yogi. I'm like expanding my energy field with Kundalini yoga. And I sponsor my spiritual journeys with my acting. I was in a phase. And anyway, she was talking about Kundalini yoga and how she knew Yogi Bhajan. She said, look, you always want to be the funny one. You always want to be the best friend. You always want to be the character actor. And I said, why is that? She said, because you'll always work. But if you're the pretty girl, it's over for you. But if you're the funny one, and she was like, you put a little weight on. Why don't you get some chips? You know, they got this beef. You need to let you look too skinny, too skinny. It was one of the best moments of my life. But she took me to the candy section. She had some stories. And she starts putting all these candies in her basket. Okay, get this one. Make sure you get the nerds, but get the old fashions. And she said, everybody needs a candy drawer. This is perfect for Valentine's Day. I do this to this day. It's my junk drawer too. So I have nails and candy, but that's the perfect embodiment of me. But she said, keep a drawer in your house that's filled with little sweets and candy. And when family comes over, or the kids come over, or the grandkids, or sometimes you just need a little sweet. Sometimes you just need one little sweet.
Wow.
Candy drawer. And to this day, I have a little drawer with candy in it because
that's hysterical.
I'm going to have one now. I'm going to have a candy drawer now.
You got to treat yourself. She was like, you got to treat yourself.
Yeah.
And you got to be funny. No fun.
Volume count as candy? No.
What?
Does volume count as
Steve Martin taught me about socks.
Oh, yes. We were showing socks earlier. Come on. Here, feeties. Feeties.
What's on your socks?
Where's your socks?
What's on your socks?
Mine?
Talk about
I have little pinky spots, and this is my look at this is our outfits for this type of thing. Yeah. Alana, where's your puppy? Alana, where's your puppy? I'm gonna bring in my doggy.
Okay, so I'm gonna show. I have two different socks on. The first we have
dog. Okay. What is that? You have two different ones?
I can't turn my leg upside down because I'm flexible, but not that flexible. With Valentine's coming out of them. I'm also a writer, and it's not
good.
But I'll let you see what's on it.
What are you doing?
Sorry, is that inappropriate? Go yourself.
It's Wizard World. Everything is okay in here.
Right. Okay. So I'm from Detroit. So I have like 4 pairs of these bird socks, and they. Really
what is it on there? Let me see. What is it? Yes, that's what it looks.
There you go. All right, there you go.
Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?
You gotta have a little sass, When I played Steve Martin's daughter in Out of Towners, it was my first official on camera. Well, I'd done like 12 national network commercials. I was like the My Doll girl, Burger King. I did a lot of different commercials. Maybelline. Oh, I was the ugly girl in Maybelline. It was like Christy Turlington and with the fans, and it was like maybe she's born with it. And she was like, and then then I was like the one who was like trying. I was like the one with like the mascara, and I couldn't do the lipstick right. And they were like, maybe it's Maybelline. So I was like the Lucille Ball, ugly girl who couldn't put makeup on.
Oh, I love that. I never knew that.
Steve Martin taught me about socks. He played my dad in the Out of Towners, and he taught me a lot of things, just like Shirley MacLaine, and I'll never forget what he taught me. But one of the greatest things, Steve, if you're out there, oh, he's a dad now. He's got a kid. Steve, I was very young, and he taught me a lot about life, about comedy, about psychology. He's a genius. I don't know if you guys know, he's like Mensa.
Plays the banjo too.
Yes, he's a banjo virtuoso. He's an incredible musician. He's actually very serious and incredibly intelligent, and that's where his ironic humor comes from, this genius brain of his. But anyways, one of the first things they ever taught me on the set, he was like, let me see your socks. I said, who is this guy, a pervert? Let me see your socks. Is he a pervert? Well, why does he want to see my socks? He's got a foot thing, right? And he goes, just let me see your socks. It's okay, lift up the pant leg, let me see your socks. So I did, and he was like, tisk, 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 tisk. Your socks are your superpower. I was like, what? And he's like, da 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 da. Shows me he's got like dogs on bicycles or whatever it was. And he's I want to teach you something. Socks are your secret. You can look completely put together and conservative in the room and professional, but nobody knows what's on your socks. And if you want to intend something for the day, or you need good luck, or you want to tell the world to go
Bleepity blonde.
itself.
middle finger detachment. You can put it in your socks. So socks are your secret. And I like to wear different ones because it's like a Rorschach of your personality.
I love that.
It's nothing to do with Legally Blonde. I'm sorry, guys. I had a lot of
I
copies.
think this is the most we've ever seen or talked about socks on these 190 Wizard World virtual experiences. And I couldn't be happier about it.
Well, now I know how important socks are. I'm going
They
to
are
get
so good.
a wilder pair.
Socks
Well,
fall.
they're very popular in Japan. They're in vending machines in Japan.
They are?
Yeah, wild socks all over the place.
And Alana, you have the perfect socks because you're in quarantine right now with like an ankle bracelet, right? And you like it.
She's
Yeah.
with an ankle bracelet.
With my ankle bracelet, exactly. I mean,
You're in the snow with an ankle bracelet in quarantine, and you've got kind of prisoner socks on. And it's
I do.
Canada is serious.
Like
about
the
that.
stripes, yeah.
No question. So a few other fans chiming in want to just get a couple of their comments. Sherry Clausen, I love this, says Jessica and Alana definitely need their own sitcom. Their chemistry is fantastic. The show would be hysterical. Yes, tremendous. I love it. Melanie says cute dog Alana. So correct on that as well.
My mom left her dog to me, and it is my mom's dog. My mom passed on, and now I have inherited this deaf Chihuahua. My mom adopted her because she looked like my mom.
Oh,
Whatever
Doesn't she look just like
takes,
me?
yes.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask about a couple of particular, I don't know how many scenes you got to do with Victor Garber and or Sally Field, but can you just talk about working with them and what they brought to the films? They had so much experience and you guys had some, but like there was maybe a gravitas that they brought to the film.
Like,
Take it away.
what, sweetie?
Victor Garber and Sally Field.
Oh, I think Sally Field in particular and Reese really became, I think, very good friends on the set. Sally Field is someone who experienced great stardom at a very young age, much like Reese Witherspoon. And they definitely had that in common. And I remember reading an interview where Sally Field said something like, Reese reminds me so much of the stars in the 1950s that I knew, because she wants it all. She wants the family, and she wants the kids, and she wants to raise them the right way. And she's also from the South, and she has, very, very strong family values. And I think Sally Field is very much cut from the same cloth. So it's interesting that the two of them were in this movie together. I'm surprised they haven't done other things together. They should.
Yes, and also they both had the sweetheart archetype.
Yes.
And the innocent sweetheart, America's sweetheart, and also they both shared that commonality of sudden fame. Yes. And so I think that Reese really felt comforted and supported by her, because it's kind of almost like a mentor, because Sally had walked that path as like the wisdom keeper who was America's sweetheart, who also experienced sudden fame. And she was a really calming, reassuring maternal presence on the set, just a sweetheart, truly a sweetheart, kind, but fiercely intelligent. I mean, I think one of the great things about the movie itself is the ability to, the archetype of, the blonde or the sweetheart, of the female who's not just beautiful externally, but internally, and has brains. And Sally really embodies that. It's why she was perfect for the role. And that's what she embodies in person, I think. And that's Reese, Reese is
Highly intelligent.
all brains.
very, very smart. Very, very smart woman. Yes.
Like
So
me.
we have a few people asking, Kathleen Gross was one, and someone else asking about number 3, Legally Blonde number 3. But I like Joe B. CLE's question better. Where would your character, irrespective of that, where would your characters be today in the Legally Blonde universe? A couple decades after the first movie and 17 or so years after the second. Where would your character be today?
Well, I'll go first.
Please.
Oh, I gotta call my agent.
I think that my character would have finally believed in my daughter that she could be something more than Miss Hawaiian Tropics runner-up. I think I would finally realize that, well, I guess some women can do things with glasses on and be smart. I mean, my God, that's what I think. All right.
And Margot, where are you today?
I think that what a lot of people don't know is that I modeled Margot on a real person. And that's why the voice is also different. So when people meet me, they think that I have a cold or I'm a chain smoker, but this is my real voice. It actually was a problem because that character was so specific, and I had challenges after the film because that role was so iconic. Everybody thought I was that person. Nobody knew that was a character. It was actually really challenging for my career, and I had like every Tom, Dick, and Harry script with a dumb blonde cheerleader at my doorstep, and which I appreciated, but that wasn't who I was as a human or you know, as an artist. But you know, as a performer, and I wanted to branch out. But the point is, that voice comes from an actual real life sorority girl, and I've talked about this a little bit. I don't think maybe it's out there, maybe it's not. But Reese was obviously the first person cast, and I was the second person cast. And on a Saturday night at 9 o'clock, like 2 weeks after I got the job, I get this, "Hello, is this Jessica Caulfield?" I'm like, it was like Tracy Flick from Election. I was like, "Yeah." "Well, this is Reese Witherspoon. And how much research have you done so far?" I'm like, "It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday night." I'm like, you know, I'm like having a beer. I'm from Michigan, right? I'm having a beer like on my balcony at Silver Lake or wherever I lived. And, you know, I'm on a Saturday night. She's talking about homework. And, you know, these characters have to be real in order to be funny. They have to be honest. They have to be authentic. They have to be truthful. You know, she was way ahead. So she invited me. She said, "What do you think about going down to downtown LA?" I think it was USC, or is it UCLA?
USC.
USC?
Yeah, UCLA's in Westwood. Yeah, USC.
Right. So Reese had this idea to contact a sorority and for us to go study them. Well, they weren't very open to being, you know, like hamsters in the lab. So she tried that with a different sorority, I guess, and it didn't work. And they were really uncomfortable because they didn't want to be analyzed. They didn't want to be mocked. So we had to find a different approach to it. So Reese was like, "Okay, what do you think about this? We take them out for margaritas. But we don't drink any." So it was like, oh, these two girls. And Reese was still, you know, like the indie queen. Not everybody knew Reese at that time. Everybody in the business did it. So we took them to that famous Mexican restaurant, Beverly. What is that restaurant?
El Coyote.
Yes, El Coyote. I don't remember the name of the sorority, but there were like 20 of them. Reese bought them pitchers of margaritas, and we had notepads under the table, and we pretended to drink the margaritas, but we didn't drink. So at the beginning, the sorority girls were very, very intelligent, very focused, very organized, very articulate, very rigid sororities, very, very, you know, they've got their shit together. I mean, you know, these are Ivy League kids. But as one margarita went down and then another, woo, they started opening up, and we started to see like the cattiness and the personalities and like the infighting. And long story short, we got them tanked, and we took notes on them and their behavior. And Reese had a newborn baby at the time, Ava. So she had to go home. Well, I didn't have a baby, and I was like 20 years old or whatever. And they were like, "Do you want to go to a frat party?" They invited me they were already drunk. By the way, everybody took cabs. Everybody took public transportation. There was no Ubers back then, but so I said, yeah, why not? I had nothing else to do. It was like a Friday night, so I went with these sorority girls to a frat party.
Did you drink then?
I may or may have not had a libation, but I couldn't have too much. I could only have a few sips because remember, I'm on a recon mission. This is work for me. This is work, an actor's life. So rough. I'm working because I'm trying to find Margot, and I couldn't find her. So we went to a bar after the party, and then I saw her standing by the bar. Here's the irony. She was a brunette. She wasn't a blonde, but I heard this voice. And when she was ordering her drink, it was so serious. The cherry had to be on the left side. So I was like, who is this person? And as I observed her, I realized all her friends mocked her. They made fun of her. She was like the dumb sorority girl. All they did was make jokes about her lack of intelligence. But here was the amazing thing. None of it fazed her. It all went right over her head. Or if it did go over her head, she just deflected it. She knew who she was. She was confident in herself. When I realized they interpreted her as dumb, but what she really was observant. She never blinked. Everything she was looking at in the bar was almost like the world was so big she had to take it all in. So she wasn't dumb. She was like a sponge. And yeah, a few things missed her, but what she really was full of love. And she was a huge heart with legs. She was so kind, so compassionate. Even when people mocked her, she was kind to them. And I was like, that's Margot. She's not dumb. She's like a huge heart. She's an easy target. Huge hearts are easy targets. She's this wide open, almost like a child, just amazed at the world and even the Jamba Juice. And you've got to stop watching TV, honey. I mean, everything's just a miracle to her. So that's where Margot came from, a real girl. I don't know her name. I don't remember her name. She probably doesn't even know. I don't know if she's watching this, but she was the inspiration for that character.
That is a great.
And Alana, Serena, you're still best friends with Margot 20 years later, right? Serena?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I think we buy a chain of nail salons across Indochina. Being as I speak fluent Vietnamese in the movie, I think that perhaps I've moved to Indochina and opened up like probably blow up bars and nail salons that are, you know, Serena's nail salon and Margot has you know, decorated and feng shuied every single salon. And maybe we're living in Thailand or something, sweetie. What do you think?
Margot's an epidemiologist. You're a virologist. We open a mask factory in Indochina with like bedazzling and, you know, custom made, design your own mask. J-Lo's wearing it. I mean, we
Gazillionaires.
Yeah, multi-million
In the mask.
patented mask fashion. And, you know, it's secretly smart. The characters are smarter than.
Very smart. That's the moral. Oh,
That's the moral. Yes. Never judge a book.
Mhm.
So do we think the producers are watching this, taking notes when they're figuring out what the storyline is going to be in 2022? And this
Mindy Kaling, are you there? We're so excited.
Mindy, hello, calm. So
I can do this smarter.
So I'm just want to go around the room. We're almost sadly out of time, but I want to go around the room and just have each of you just talk about kind of something you're working on now, a cause, anything that, you know, as we hopefully are starting to come back to normal to some degree, what's kind of going on in each of your lives. Alana, we'll just start with you since you're.
Yes, I'm in quarantine right now. I'm in Calgary, Canada, where it is 5 degrees outside. So I have not left. I'm about to work with the beautiful Kate Beckinsale. My gosh, she that girl does not age. She's like a vampire. She doesn't age. It's wild. And I've only met her via Zoom, but I play her nemesis on this new show called Guilty Party, and it's a whole lot of fun. And Kate plays this very intelligent journalist. And it goes through all of, like, you know, the trials and tribulations of what that world is all about. It's a lot of fun.
Alana, you need to get back on Snowfall. That's the best show that nobody's watching.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica, you're next. Tell me what you've got in your world.
So before the plague hit, before all of our lives turned upside down, there were several things I was, let's just say, Alana, I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. How many jobs just shriveled and disappeared like the witch's legs under
Right.
the
Yes.
I mean, it was over. And so many projects got shelved, entire projects got postponed, things got canceled. And, you know, I'm a happy solo mom, and I've got an 8-year-old, and I had to begin homeschooling my kid. And so solo mom, working from home. I'm also a writer. I also produce. I also, I edit. I have a lot of different hats. There's a lot of different hats, a lot of different spinning plates. So I'm working from home during the pandemic, homeschooling, you know, like all of us, you know, So just recently, she's been able to return to in-person classes, which I'm so grateful for, you know, with the protocols, with the, I call it the ET protocol. Remember in the end of ET, I have to make a joke. I have to laugh or I'll cry,
All
right?
the white sheets, everyone is like, yes, in the full-on garb, yeah.
Heartbreaking. But you know, with like the tubes and they've got the hazmat suits, like, you know, that's school now. But at least she can be back at school. And it's so important for these kids to socialize. That development of the brain, if you study brain science, they got to be able to interact with other kids. And I feel very blessed that her school has been able to safely open up. So that's great for her. We actually had COVID at the beginning of December. And I'm still here, and so is she. And that's a whole other story. We could do that.
Any side effects? Any long-term side effects that you've been experiencing or anything like that?
No, not any whatsoever, but I know people who have, but I was fortunate to have the most amazing physician in the world. I'm not going to say his name on here, but I feel like he literally saved my life because he was like, look, you're a solo mom. You don't have time for this thing to take you down. You're going to listen to every word I say. You're going to take everything I tell you to do. And he literally, like the days of yore, called me every day and gave me pep talks. Go in the other room so your kid can't hear you. Go outside. I mean, like I had this coach who basically guided me through it. And I did a protocol. I won't go into it here, but I did one of the protocols that are used in Australia and Argentina and all over the world. There are a lot of different therapeutic protocols that are very effective and scientific studies and are safe with no side effects. And I did one of those. And I feel very blessed. But I didn't have any side effects because he's gotten over 100 patients through it, and he has a protocol with a non-prescriptive protocol that helps the central nervous system and connective tissue heal. Because one of the things COVID does is it attacks the nervous system. That's why you lose your taste and smell and connective tissue. So I had this like 4 or 5 week post-COVID program, and it prevented any lingering symptoms, except for this eye twitch. So I get this, I've never had twitches. I take magnesium, I'm a really healthy person. I have this crazy eye twitch that started with COVID. If I get really stressed or if I laugh too hard, my eye. But I'm making jokes, but I hope to, in that vein, be an example of hope because, and I also have several family members who have successfully made it through that. And the statistics show and the science shows that if you're healthy and support your immune system and eat healthy and eat well, you know, 99.27, I think it is. So I feel very blessed. I actually feel very grateful to have gotten it over with. There was a huge relief. We don't realize the psychological burden it has. I mean, the biggest struggle for me, it was no worse than the flu for me. But the biggest struggle I had was the mental challenge because all of those months of the fear built up and really the way I had to get through it was a mental battle with myself, that I'm strong, that I'm vital, that I'm healthy, that this is not my time to go. I have to be here for my kid. You know, I had to like become like the Tony Robbins of my immune system as I was locked in my house for 14 days with a kid, right?
Wow.
And with a kid. So it was not easy, but we did it. And I believe it's that will be the truth and the fact for most people. And of course I grieve for the people who've lost their loved ones. It's not an easy thing. It's not a black and white thing, but I am an example that it is possible to go through it and remain vital and remain healthy. I didn't have a mild case. It was hard, but it was like a flu, no worse than the flu. But
we're so happy that you are feeling well enough now to be with us today. Honey, what's up in your world? I know you've got some causes that are close to your heart.
Yeah, I've been producing and directing a lot. I work with a company called Media Giants, and we produced a couple films. Back there, you can see Rockstar, and then I produced and directed. I write as well. This recently, this is for a cause. This was a short film called The Hungry Dog, and we had a dog actor. It was really darling, and it was to benefit Life Animal Rescue. My dog that popped in earlier, she was rescued from Thailand, from the Thailand meat market. And because of it, it really struck my heart, and I had to do something. I don't know, you know, with seeing those images and whatnot. So I decided to write and direct a short film based on a little lost dog in Los Angeles. Not a dog, you know, in the meat market, but it's a sweet little film, and it helped raise a whole bunch of money for Life Animal Rescue.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, yeah, go check out Life Animal Rescue. It's I think it's lifeanimalrescue.com. just the cause is really lovely. And I like doing that. I wrote another feature film that is in development with a producer director friend of mine, Richard Gabay and Grant Kramer, called Rescue Me. And that is about a young, beautiful Native American woman who leaves a bad relationship, and she steals, this guy's a criminal, steals his about to die fighting dog. And it becomes this beautiful road trip with this Native American woman and this damaged fighting dog as they travel across the United States and reconnect. And so I'm enjoying that. And we're probably going to shoot that this coming year. And so I'm enjoying doing, like you, Jessica, I'm an editor. So I've edited for years for a lot of media companies and things like that.
Insomniac.
What?
You're an insomniac.
Yeah, and yeah, and I was an editor for quite a while for a TV show called Beyond TV, and also I did a lot of Fox News specials. I won Los Angeles Journalism Award. Huh?
Sorry to interrupt, but when you say Fox News specials, do you mean like the
Yeah, not the kind of Fox News specials that you're seeing now. It's like local Fox News specials. I directed with Carlos Amezcua. It's called Love, Betty White. We won a National Journalism Award for it. It's a documentary that I edited, and Hugh Hefner story. So, even though I've been acting and I'm also a singer and stuff, I grew up in the industry. My father is an actor, Doug McClure. So I'm just always, been involved, right? And I just
wait a second. How have we not known until now that you are such a certified badass? Alana, did you know?
I did. Howard gave me all the lowdown about you. I'm a big, huge, and I stalked you on the internet last
I
night.
appreciate that.
And I touched myself. No.
In a way, isn't it all three of us? No, I'm not trying to be campy, but it's a Legally Blonde story. Did you hear me? It's a Legally Blonde story because a lot of my career in the early days was, she's pretty, she put her in this movie, this sexy movie, this, that,
Right.
But the truth is that I'm smart, I'm creative, and I have a lot to say and a lot that I can share. And it wasn't until about 20, I make it sound like it's not that long ago. It was like 22 years ago that I decided I wanted to produce.
That was like 5 seconds ago. I mean, it's all
right. But I'm curious, Jessica, you too, Alana. I think it's important for us as women to be involved with the entertainment world beyond just what we as an actress, right? Creatively and have some control. And I actually decided to become an editor because I wanted to be, because I'm already a writer, I wanted to be the beginning, which is the writing, creating. I'm a producer director, so I can direct. I'm also camera operator. I've done that a lot too. So I can be part of the production. And I wanted to be able to finish the damn thing. So you got to edit, right? And so I do that and graphics. So anyways, that's my story.
Zeitgeist, I honor you. I'm so impressed. And you're I feel so humbled, and I should have shut my big Aries, double Aries skirt rising fire dragon mouth. I mean, you could do your own this, and we can just like fan you and feed you.
No. I think we're all very creative, and I think that we're lucky and blessed that we got to be. I feel really lucky and blessed that I got to be part of, even though my movie, my part wasn't huge, but I got to be part of Legally Blonde. What a fun, fabulous, movie. It's a little bit of a beautiful exclamation point on my career that I can enjoy. Everything that I do. If I was a singer in the 80s.
Me too. See? I did Broadway. That's what I used to do. Being in the film industry was an accident. Woody Allen's casting director saw me in a musical by Robert Lopez of Frozen, of Let It Go, Let It Go.
That's great.
One of his first musicals with puppets, and they had fired, I don't want to say who it is, but they had fired the girl who played Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn's daughter in The Out of Towners, and it was shooting the next day, and she saw me.
One girl's loss is another girl's gain.
She said, this girl's a dead ringer for Goldie Hawn and Steve Martin's, well-endowed schnoz. It's real.
I love it.
And then I ended up on Wall Street on a set with John Cleese and Goldie Hawn and Steve Martin the next day, like puking out of their shoes. But anyway, the point is, I used to be a singer. That's what I did.
Yeah, I was assigned to RCA Records way back in the 80s, and I toured with Linda Ronstadt. This is how old I am.
Wow.
My God.
Yeah. I don't know
What
about
an illustrious career.
No, it's just because I'm crazy, is what it is.
You guys have brought so much to our
Anyway.
crowd. Our fans didn't want this to end, so I just kind of let you guys go. I wasn't going to
Mary,
stop
thank you
you.
so much. What a
So,
pleasure this has been. This has been
been a-
amazing. Thank you.
It's been great to have the three of you here. Don't forget, everyone, today's the 14th. If you're watching live, great. If you're watching it on replay, you still have until the 20th to purchase these live chats, photo ops, recorded video messages, and autographs for the 21st, same time on the 21st. So block that out on your calendar. If you think this was fun, how much fun might it be to be in a live chat on Zoom with one of these ladies by yourself next week? So just want to remind. Sure.
I want to make a medical disclaimer that I'm not a physician and none of that was intended as medical advice.
No,
I'm
we know.
not a medical professional. And also, I followed my physician, my longtime physician's guidance and advice, and you should too. And I just want to say that because I know it's a bit controversial.
Is bend and snap part of the physician's advice?
Yes.
Yes, Ben is.
Can we do the bend and snap? I don't have enough room.
I love you guys. I gotta go. I'll see
I want
you.
to thank you
Bye-bye,
guys. And everyone, appreciate you being with us here
Thank
today on
you.
Wizard World Virtual Experiences. Thanks so much for joining us here, and we hope to see you again on a future virtual experience. Thanks so much, everyone.